2025 Euro Talking Points. Berger's Wonder Save. Semifinal predictions. The Euro 2025 tournament is into the semifinals. We have our Final Four. England came through a mammoth penalty shootout, one of the weirdest ever, against Sweden to set up a clash with Italy, who beat Norway, while world champion Spain knocked out host Switzerland to face a dogged Germany, who ousted France on penalties despite playing with 10 players for over 100 minutes. Emily Keogh, Tom Hamilton, Beth Lindop, Julian Lawrence, and Sam Marsden have been on the ground at the tournament this summer. So here is their assessment of events so far. Keogh and Katrin Berger's flying save with full length, with an arm stretched behind her, to prevent what would have been an agonizing own goal by Janina Minge in extra time. It was pure gravity denying excellence to save Germany from likely elimination against France. She was simply immense. To have beaten cancer twice, been overlooked for a starting spot at national team level for years, to saving 9 shots and seeing Germany through to another semifinal on penalties. She is the epitome of a heroine. No doubt Germany's grit to hold on after the 13th minute, and through extra time, against a ruthless France team is a talking point. But at the heart of their determination was Berger, and she deserves all the plaudits. Hamilton, I agree with M. Berger's performance was just astonishing. And if you're looking for heroines, then you have plenty to choose from at these Euros. Lucy Bronze's performance for England against Sweden was just incredible. This is her 7th major tournament, and the ageless Bronze just keeps on going. She dragged England through that quarterfinal from 2 goals down. She scored the first, kicked the advertising hoarding, and then 103 seconds later, Michelle Adjeming netted the equalizer. In extra time, she took on the captaincy, strapped her own thigh up, then ripped it off for her penalty in a farcical shootout, hammering what was effectively the winning penalty. Just incredible. Lindop, I'd probably say how closely contested all of the games have been. 2 matches went to extra time and penalties, while Italy's win over Norway was only sealed with a goal in the 90th minute. Even Spain versus Switzerland, which was expected to yield a comfortable win for the world champions, was still goalless after the hour mark. It just shows how fine the margins are at this level and how there's no such thing as an easy game. Lawrence, I don't want to talk about this France disaster against Germany. Berger, Coach Christian Wuck, or anyone. Instead, let's celebrate Bronze and her nerves of steel. To score her penalty like she did, through a chaotic shootout, to have had the intelligence to study the Sweden's keeper's habits and how early she was moving. Bronze is the hero here. She did her own injury strap, and she wore the Rainbow Captain's armband as a bracelet. She is maybe not having her best tournament, but against Sweden, she was the leader her team needed at the most crucial time of all. Shout out to Chloe Kelly too. Super sub and super shin pads with her husband and dog on them, and super pen and run up too. Marsden, let's hear it for our hosts, Switzerland, shall we? Bern was incredible for their quarterfinal against Spain. Before, during, and after the game, more than 20,000 fans clad in red joined in unison for the fan walk to the ground from Bundesplatz in the city center, over the bridge crossing the River Aare, and arriving at the Wankdorf Stadium in a journey which took over an hour. They then sang nonstop for 90 minutes, and for another half an hour after they had been knocked out. They didn't want to leave. Coach Pia Sundhage said, on the pitch, the entertainment has been top drawer, including in Switzerland's game. They kept favorite Spain out for 66 minutes, and, while they inevitably came up short, there were briefly some moments where you were wondering, could they Keogh? Teams could learn a lot in terms of execution, but also preparation. Sweden manager Peter Gerhardsson said his side, who missed 3 of theirs, did not prepare for penalties due to the unpredictable nature of knockout football, but that certainly feels like a mistake now. Some practice, especially in the order of penalty takers, could have returned a completely different result and spared 18-year-old Smilla Holmberg from having to shoulder such responsibility when missing the final kick. Marsden, as Emily says, it's unforgivable that Sweden didn't practice spot kicks. Yes, there's an element of in-game pressure you can't plan for, but it's well proven now that the old adage of it's a lottery is not true. In total at the tournament, there have been 24 of 41 penalties scored, which is a 58.5% conversion rate. It's 1927 removing the England-Sweden game, though, for a 70.4% conversion rate. That's still lower than the 80% mark for most competitions. 81.2% in the Women's Champions League last season, but not hugely alarming. I think that shootout was just a freak event. That said, it does create more pressure on takers moving forward, although France and Germany responded quite well on Saturday. Lawrence Sam, who is our mathematician and stats guru, has provided the numbers. The one thing I noticed, which shows a lack of preparation or advice, is that most of Sweden and England players were taking their penalty very quickly after the referee blew her whistle. We know that to have the most chance to score, one of the things to do is to leave a few seconds after the ref's whistle, stay composed, breathe, focus, and then shoot. Shooting straight away is never good lindup. I think all of these penalty misses serve as a reminder of just how high the pressure is when you get to this point in the tournament. Any mistake can be costly, as Sweden found out on Thursday night. For both teams, it showed the importance of keeping a cool head when the stakes are high and of taking your chances. From a drama point of view, though, it certainly provided entertainment, and there were some super penalties in the shootout between France and Germany. Hamilton, it has to be nerves. I agree with the others that Sweden messed up by not practicing penalties. How they must regret that now. But the Germany-France game proved that a penalty shootout can be a more high quality. Overall, England-Sweden was a freak event. Players like Alex Greenwood, who missed, are usually so reliable. But the in-game penalties are a combination of nerves, comprehensive analysis, superb goalkeepers, and, in some instances, poor execution. Hamilton, the cost is extortionate. But also the 9 p.m. kickoffs. Far too late, especially if you have extra time and penalties. A lovely 6 p.m. is ideal.